The Ghana Airport Company Limited has carried out its second test on the Terminal 3 facility at the Kotoka International Airport. Today's exercise was to ensure that the facility is fully ready for its October 2 commissioning. Charles Aite has more.
The new Terminal 3 is expected to ease the pressure on the existing two terminals and has the potential to handle up to 5 million passengers a year, with an expansion potential of up to 6.5 million passengers. Construction of the new terminal was completed by the end of July 2017. The two-year expansion at Kotoka is expected to generate about 900 temporary jobs and 760 permanent jobs during the operations and maintenance phase. Airport operator and manager Ghana Airport Company Limited broke ground on the construction of its flagship project Terminal 3 on March 2016. The project is a part of Airport Company's capital investment program that entails the construction of a new terminal at the Kotoka International Airport, the only international airport in the country, and the rehabilitation of other regional airports managed by the GACL. To this end, the Ghana Airport Company successfully facilitated 302 passengers through Terminal 3 departures on Tuesday, August 21, 2018. These passengers were traveling on Delta Airlines to New York and South Africa Airways to Johannesburg. The use of Terminal 3 for the two flights was a test. The use of Terminal 3 for the two flights was to test equipment and facilities at the new terminal.
Sales have been somewhat slow for persons in the butchery and livestock business in some Muslim communities in the capital today. Joy Business's Karen Dodu has been around town and has come through with the following report.
The Eid Mubarak celebration is the festival of sacrifice and crowned with slaughtering livestock with a dish for the day. From as far as Burkina Faso, some of these traders bring their cattle to sell. Aziz Mohammed, who has been selling here at the Nima market since Saturday, tells me that although sales have not been so good, he is hopeful that sales will pick up.
There is going small, but the market is not like last year.
Why? Why is it not like last year? Do you know why?
No, it's not running like last year because then people are not buying and then the people are complaining about. Even I brought the big ones, but I all sell it without any profits because of the people are complaining they don't have money. So I bring the medium size and the small one.
Okay, so last year at the end of the whole celebration, how much were you able to make or how many were you able to sell compared to this year?
Last year I sell over 15, more than 15, but this year I sell, the one I sell even in no rate 30.
Another set of people in the livestock business are butchers and the beef and mutton sellers. For Muslims who do not have 500 cedis or above to buy either a goat, sheep or cow, they come to the butchery to buy the already slaughtered ones. And with as low as 12 cedis, they can get a kilo of good meat. So I'm now here at a popular butchery at the Nima market. I want to see how sales are going for them on this day. If business is really booming, and I'm here with one of the butchers. Hello, sir.
Mohammed Awal is my name.
Okay, Mohammed, I can see that some people are here to buy meat, but tell me, how is the market going today?
We thank God. We thank God because the market is coming small. Well, most of the people too, they buy their own cows, some buy some sheep. That's why you see that many people are coming to buy the meat today.
On a normal market or a busy day, most of the stands, every stand has a butcher, but today some of the stands are empty. Why is this so?
Because most of the butchers, they go and do the outside work because people buy their animals and they cannot slaughter it by themselves, so they come and hire our people to go and do it. That's why you see, as I'm here too, if somebody come, I see that he say he have some animal to go and kill for him, I'll call my boy and leave the table for him, then I'll go there and do it.
A walk along the streets of Nima showed that indeed most households were doing the slaughtering of the cow themselves. Well, the reason is to obey tradition. Awal Ibrahim explains further.
Well, you know, it's a tradition. This day is a great day on the calendar of Islam. And then it's the time that families come together. So when you buy the animal at the market, it wouldn't be nice for you taking it to the abattoir for someone to kill and then work on it for you. It's very nice you bring it home. The elders in the family prays over it and then slaughters it. so the family can feast over it.
Well, whether sales are good or bad, it's believed the family gathering and parties will be going on tonight and even tomorrow. So just don't forget to invite me for that special meal. Reporting for Joy Business, Karin Dodu.
Again, happy Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Moving on, it's day 2 of the Entrepreneurship Conference 2018, and Charles Aite has been engaging participants over their takeaways so far.
The second day of Entrepreneurship Conference 2018, we're just standing just a few meters away from the conference hall where the youngsters are currently in a mentorship class. But just before that was a presentation, or let me say an interaction between the mentor and the various youngsters by sales practitioner, the person of Petra Abba Asamoah. And she's here with me to help us understand what exactly went into the entire discussion and her takeaways in that regard. Hello, so Petra, many thanks for your time here with us. What has been the takeaways for you in the Entrepreneurship Conference?
Well, it's an opportunity for us to share our unique journeys. I mean, everyone who's worked and lived has some experiences that they can share. So that was the opportunity for us as mentors to share how the struggles I had as a young person and how those things have strengthened me to be who I am today.
But we all do know that one thing that has to do with mentorship classes like these is just to prep young people up for the world of work. And as a sales practitioner, could there be any kind of tidbit for these young people as to how they could package themselves to be very attractive for the world market?
So one of the things we shared with them is the fact that no training or experience you have is useless. Even if you find yourself in a course of study that you feel is not the right place for you, still try and excel at it, and then you can build on that later.
All right, so I get to have with me some participants, youngsters, brilliant ones for that matter, to help us understand what the entire Entrepreneurship Conference has been like for them, their takeaways, what they've learned so far, and their perspective about the future. And I see I have here with me Kofi, I have here Ayeyi as well, and as well Niayi. So I'm going to start off with you, Niayi. What has been the takeaways for you from this conference?
Entrepreneurship has been very educative, fun, and interesting. I've gotten the chance to learn a lot of things.
Really? That's very great. What about you? What have you learned out of this conference? You, Kofi Ayensu, what has been the takeaway for you?
Entrepreneurship has also helped me in many ways. I've been able to socialize with others, and also I've learned more about business planning, and also I've learned about how to animate things and illustrate, draw, and so many things.
That's very great, but let's rope in this issue about business development. This morning you were taught about how to draw a business plan, right? What exactly did they tell you in there?
They taught us that when you set up a business, you must have a plan. You must have a vision. You should be prepared for anything that will come towards the business.
Wow. What about you? What exactly did you take away from the business class this morning?
Also, the problems you'll be facing when you have a business, and also things to do to improve the community and the society, and also your own business.
What kind of problems do you face when you have a business?
When you have a business, according to the society, we have poor rules that we can use for importation and exportations. And also, we need to help the government mobilize and develop the country.
That's very great. What about you, Ayeyi? What did you learn this morning about drawing a business plan?
I learned how to solve problems, identify the problems, get people to help you, and
That's basically.
That's great. So Niyama, Ayeyi, and Kofi, many thanks all of you for being a part of this interaction. You've been so much awesome. So these have been some participants out of the Entrepreneurship 2018. This is the second day. We're going to be having 2 more days for the entire program to end. And it's all about young people and how best we could shape them for the future work, the future world of work in that regard, giving them the best skills they need, especially when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We shall be having more interactions on this in our subsequent bulletins.
Freight forwarders say they are planning to embark on an industrial action next Monday. That is if government fails to comply with their call to abolish the cargo tracking note system. Here's the president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. What is the latest development as far as the cargo tracking note is concerned?
Thank you very much and good evening. I think that it has to be put in perspective that this is a show of force of all the freight forwarder associations, ACHAG, queue bag, and give. You know, we said something when this cargo tracking note thing came to town, because we know the history behind it. We said that if it was going to be implemented in the same way, even in a bad way now, we said that some few things were going to happen. From 1st of July, those things have started happening. We said some things were not going to happen, and true to word, those things are not happening. You know, but then when we sit back, it is a pain for us to sit back to realize that we have the know-how. We know the end-to-end situation and expectations. We cannot sit any longer for those who do not have the end-to-end appreciation of the business that we do. Take decisions in such a manner, because at the end of the day, it just throws into the international trade space uncertainty, and it takes away the functions of predictability. People cannot predict our environment, and it is hurting us.
You spoke about things that wouldn't work. What are some of the issues you're facing? Because you started kicking against this, not today, but the GRA went ahead on the 1st of July to start implementation. So what are some of the difficulties you're facing or your members are facing?
In the first place, we said that if you take the vice president's way of doing this thing, he had put together a team, the National Manifest Committee, that had gone a bit deeper to understand the data elements that the CTN is asking for, and has actually gone ahead to suggest a modification to the manifest structure. That is on course. In fact, it should have happened on the 30th of June, but it suffered a bit of a hitch. So by September, this manifest structure would have been delivered. And this manifest structure, when delivered, would have taken on board everything that the CTN is asking for and more. If you saw the Vice President's letter, I have a copy here, you realize that paragraph 4 talks about the fact that CTN was going to be redundant and superfluous because of the way the new manifest system has been structured. So we said that, look, to the extent that the CTN is not validating anything outside there, you see, the CTN is hoping that when the trader or the forwarder goes onto the export country's platform, okay, whatever declaration that is going to happen there, because at that point you are declaring to the state, it's as if you are in the law court.
You're still watching Business Live, and let's do our main story for today. And today is World Entrepreneurship Day, set aside to recognize the contribution of startups around the world. But as we mark the day, what is the state of entrepreneurship in the country in terms of finance and support? We have been speaking to a commencer who runs the African Network for Entrepreneurship.
What did you say will be the state of entrepreneurship here in Ghana? I mean, we've heard issues about cost of credit. I believe that we moved beyond that.
Well, I mean, entrepreneurship is in several stages. We have those that have the ideas and are trying things out. We have those that have started but are very small. We have those that are into the medium scale, and then we have the large ones. So the state of those that are yet to come in, especially the public perception of what entrepreneurship is, and then those with big ideas and then big dreams, that's where the challenges are now. But then generally, entrepreneurship is still an exciting venture. I think that it is a solution to unemployment and then economic growth. And then the more entrepreneurs we have, the better. You know,
Do we still have the problem of access to finance, a big problem, or now it's about the cost? Because yes, entrepreneurs have learned their lessons, but it looks like there are still issues with the cost of it, or it's still a problem for you. Even the access alone is still a challenge.
Both access and cost are challenges. First of all, where do you find it? Because especially if you want seed capital or investments to try out ideas and prototypes and to see if the idea is even going to work into a business that thrives, that kind of money is almost non-existent, and that's why even in business we say family and friends and all that. But if you don't have enough people to give you that kind of money to try out your idea, then it will be difficult to actually build up a business from scratch. But after doing that, you get into a phase where you actually need some venture capital funds. And it's almost non-existent, except now the programs that the government has implemented, like the NEP program and other programs under the Ministry of Business Development, is giving us some money. Recently, they gave some amount of money to about over 1,300 young entrepreneurs to put into their business to grow. My challenge with that is the money enough? Do they have what it takes to even grow this money that they've given them? Are the business viable enough? Even though they went through a series of trainings and all those things, will they be able to manage this money? So yes, the government is helping with the access to finance, but then sometimes the cost of it, with the money that they've given them, make them enough money to even pay back? Because this is actually a loan. It's not free money, and I'm excited about that. And it comes at a very competitive pricing. The interest rate is lower than the normal market interest rate, but they still have to pay, and they're giving them about 3 years to do that. So the government is trying so hard to give, some relief to the access points, but then the cost is still very high, especially if you want to do big projects.
A former banking boss, Albert Emegwa, and managing director of Seed Capital Savings and Loan, is asking businesses to tie compensations to the firm's performance. His calls follows recent concerns that some of the 5 consolidated banks were still paying huge bonuses and incentives even when they were going through challenges. We have more in our interview of the day.
You see, you go for a meeting of bank MDs and managers, and you see the kind of cars they park. And why should our customers get intimidated? Go abroad. You see people in banking, they live good life. And that's why if you have signed a form in Canada, they'll ask you, go to a banker, a lawyer, an accountant, a civil servant. These are noble professions.
But say, on the point of the flashy cars, somebody will argue that these are the incentives they've given to the managers to make sure that they return value to the shareholders.
That's what I'm saying. Those incentives actually, they're at the beginning of the problem.
Okay.
I'm not saying there should be no incentives.
Right.
But an incentive that says you should have 2 SUVs and 1 other car for the family. What kind of incentive is that?
It's a bit too much.
And each of them comes with a driver. So if I have 3 drivers, what are my 3 drivers doing? An incentive that says I must live in a company house of this amount. Why not give me a mortgage loan apart my salary?
Yeah.
So as I work, I pay. By the time I finish, I have a house. An incentive that says me and my family will fly first class 4 or 5 times a year. And then I enter the plane. I see my good customers at business class or economy. What incentive is that? You remember the issue of Obama said when Obama just came in and the auto industry was dying in America, yeah, and they invited the people, the auto CEOs to Washington to discuss about bailout, yeah, and they all flew with their private jets. What happened? The Congress said no. We can't be talking about bailout. Look at what they came in with.
It's true.
I mean, so the incentive, yes, there's incentive, but the incentive should be moderate.
That's how we wrap up for Business Live tonight. Thanks so much for watching, and for more business news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Sandra Esenamapeno.